So we're trying to give you an idea of what life was like in Boston in 1775 during the Battle of Bunker Hill and Breed's Hill. Boston has been taken over by the British soldiers. They're taking over their houses. They've taken over the businesses. They've taken over the government buildings. So although you have the American colonists living there, mostly it is taken over by the British soldiers. If you're standing in Boston, you can look across Boston Harbor at what used to be the town of Charleston. Charleston has now been absorbed into Boston. If you look at where the monument is, that is on top of Breed's Hill, where the American patriots had set up their defenses and pointed them at the city. It doesn't look very tall, but it is tall enough to intimidate the people walking around in Boston. The British Army came from Boston, came across the harbors until they are standing over here on the Charleston side, looking over back towards Boston. This is where they set up their camp as they prepared to attack the Patriots up on the hill. So the British get off their ships and they start setting up their plan of attack down here at the base of the hill. They're looking up towards Breed's Hill here. Behind us over there, you can see Boston, the city of Boston. There the big tall buildings are. Obviously, the buildings weren't there then. You do have the Old North Church you can see, but that was about the tallest building they had back then. Coming back around, this is where they set up, where their generals are going to be. They decided they're going to attack Breed's Hill. At the top of this hill, we have the Patriots. They have set up fortifications, put some hay bales up there, probably put some wooden structures, stuff that they could stand behind to shoot. They have their cannons pointing down this direction. They have all of their people up there. You can hear them working, yelling, making noise. So the British go up the hill. They get to the top of that hill. Just as they get to the top, the Americans shoot. They die. They realize this isn't working. They come back down to here. They go up a second time. They decide to start shooting, but unfortunately the Americans are there first. The Americans kill them. They come back down, the people who are still alive. They regroup. They decide to try it a third time. They get to the top of that hill. They are a little more prepared. The Americans are getting tired. They're running out of ammo. They get to the top. When they get to the top, they get into a very large fight. Unfortunately, Americans run out of ammo and they have to run away. So they're going to be retreating back away from where we're at. The British are going to end up winning the battle. However, they're going to lose 1,000 people in the attempt. On this trip to Boston, we did not have a lot of time, so I did not have time to walk to the top of the hill and see the monument and the museum that is there. I did, however, find this cool picture on the internet. I stole it for you and we put it here. You can see the monument at the top of the hill. You can see Boston Harbor. The British soldiers would have been stationed down at the bottom as they're preparing for their battle. In the Battle of Breed's and Bunker Hill, the Americans lost 450 men. The British lost 1,054. Both sides learned hard lessons during that battle. The Americans learned that they were not going to be able to win the war without more training, more supplies, better planning. The British learned that this is not going to be an easy war. They're not going to be able to just kick the Americans out. They're going to actually have to fight and take this seriously. The war is going to go on for another 6 years.